Here we are on the start line, and it's the Princess Grace, which is the open women's quads. And we've got the New Zealanders against the B crew from Leander.
Yeah, this has been another great race. We've got some brilliant crews over from New Zealand. You know, these are international level crews, and you can see their class unfold as they come down the race. But the brilliant thing is, for any club crew taking them on, this is an incredible opportunity to just test your standard against some of the best in the world.
And that's why we come to Henley, isn't it? Because everybody has the chance to race the top class crews, whatever the category. And here we are in the open race. Well, that's where we get many international crews. And for this young Leander Club B crew, it's a great opportunity to test themselves against some of the world's best.
Yeah, and this Leander crew, I was watching them from the start yesterday. Now, they did a really fast start and sort of dominated their race early on yesterday. So this will be an uncomfortable position. You know, they know they're up against some very, very top-class opposition, but they'll want to stay with them as long as they can. And again, it's that test yourself against how good you can be. But they've got this, the gap's already opened up. New Zealanders doing what they do so well, setting a very nice, I mean, a really kind of, still, they're not dropping rate, still a really nice high rating kind of rhythmic row as they come down. Very, very smart blade work.
And this is a really classy quad from New Zealand, isn't it? Waiariki Rowing Club is the colours they row under the New Zealand squad. This is their first race at the regatta. They had a bye to this round, but 8th in the World Cup at Poznan. And they'll be hoping that that's just the beginning of a rise in their season. They're coming just to the 4 lead marker here, which is the halfway mark in the course. Really nice sculling there. You can see the determination on Leander. They're not going to give up or give in on their home stretch.
No, and you know, it's a knockout race. The Leander crew, even if they feel they're like to finish second in this one, then it's the last time they'll race down this course. So they really want to put in the best race they can, and there'll be no letting up. What you've seen with the Kiwis, just that slight drop in rate, just meaning they can let the boat run out a little bit longer, use the length. They're not under any pressure right now. So they will be slightly conserving the energy for tomorrow, but also really, you know, checking that how good they can be technically, how good they can be tactically as the pressure comes off from the actual result now.
And Kath, you've obviously experienced many kind of championships going through the different rounds towards victory. So how do you think about pacing yourself from day to day when you're hoping, expecting to be in the final and your goal is ultimately to win? How do you psychologically cope with a race which you expect is going to be straightforward and you've got to build through the days?
You know, I think the classic thing is never assume anything. You know, people can take you by surprise. If you are a strong favourite, if you want, like this Kiwi crew, an international crew, the obvious thing is people will, you know, take you from the first stroke to try and cause an upset and try and do something dramatic. So you really need to be on your game the whole time. But often you'll sit down with your coach and maybe choose to race to a particular marker. So how fast can we get to the barrier? How fast can we get to the island? Can we break a record if it's conditions that suit that? So they'll have a real aim for this race, even if they think the result should be straightforward for them.
So it's a process, isn't it, of preparing, and every race is a way to prepare to be even better in the next race. And that's what the crew from New Zealand on the right of our picture are doing as we join the race back live, having gone through the middle of the course, that difficult third quarter. Difficult for Leander because they now don't have a view of their opposition out of their corner of their eyes. Rather easier for the 4-win from Waiariki because they can see the course stretching behind them and they can actually take a moment to enjoy the glorious and unique rowing environment of Henley. And Leander, the B crew from Leander, well, this is a huge opportunity for them to build experience racing against some of the world's best. We're looking there at the back of Charlotte Fennell, 22 years old, 2017 Junior Worlds competitor in the Coxless 4 and finalist in the Diamond Jubilee at Henley in the past, so she's got some real Henley experience. Learned to row at Marlow just down the river here as well. In front of her sits Michelle Truett, 4 years old, a lot more experience, but just her second Henley regatta since coming to the UK from Canada in 2019. And then Shion Ologudun, 28 years old, in the 3-seat critical seat in the quad, and in the stroke seat it's Anthony Weatherhead.
And again, they're doing a really good job. I mean, you know, again, the blade work is holding together. You can see from this angle behind both crews, the Leander crew is still, you know, they're still racing it, they're still pulling it together. As we've said, every race you get here, every race you get anywhere, is an incredible opportunity to learn something, to test something, to experience something. And you know, these athletes will be putting all these experiences in the bank for the future performances. So, you know, again, it's a, you know, the sun is out, the course is looking great. It's a wonderful experience to race at Henley. Whether it's lovely to be ahead winning like this New Zealand crew, but again, for the Leander crew, it's still a big day to be there in front of home crowd.
So it's Friday at Henley Regatta. You can see the crowds, the colour, the sunshine, the setting is phenomenal, and what an experience to come from New Zealand to compete here. And this quad are going to be hopeful that they could come through to the Sunday finals in the Princess Grace Challenge Cup, named for Princess Grace, who gave the prizes here at Henley, and her brother won at Henley a couple of times in the 1940s. A lovely connection there. And then the Leander Club B crew, as Catherine was saying, great experience for them.
Yeah, strong performances again from both crews. We said at the beginning, you know, we have got a club crew up against a big international crew, so it's the result you'd expect. But I think both sculled very well, and I think what was lovely seeing what it means to New Zealand crew. You know, they're smiling, they're punching the air still. It might have been a relatively simple race for them, but it's something they're still incredibly proud of and enjoying, and that's what you want to see here.